Now, at certain times, particularly during war or recession, our nation has had to borrow money to pay for some of our priorities. And as most families understand, a little credit card debt isn't going to hurt if it's temporary. But as far back as the 1980s, America started amassing debt at more alarming levels. And our leaders began to realize that a larger challenge was on the horizon. They knew that eventually the baby boom generation would retire, which meant a much bigger portion of our citizens would be relying on programs like Medicare, Social Security, and possibly Medicaid. Like parents with young children who know they have to start saving for the college years, America had to start borrowing less and saving more to prepare for the retirement of an entire generation. To meet this challenge, our leaders came together 3 times during the 1990s to reduce our nation's deficit. 3 times. They forged historic agreements that required tough decisions made by the first President Bush, then made by President Clinton, by Democratic Congresses, and by a Republican Congress. All 3 agreements asked for shared responsibility and shared sacrifice. But they largely protected the middle class. They largely protected our commitment to seniors. They protected our key investments in our future. As a result of these bipartisan efforts, America's finances were in great shape by the year 2000. We went from deficit to surplus. America was actually on track to becoming completely debt-free, and we were prepared for the retirement of the baby boomers. But after Democrats and Republicans committed to fiscal discipline during the 1990s, we lost our way in the decade that followed. We increased spending dramatically for 2 wars and an expensive prescription drug program. But we didn't pay for any of this new spending. Instead, we made the problem worse with trillions of dollars in unpaid-for tax cuts. Tax cuts that went to every millionaire and billionaire in the country. Tax cuts that will force us to borrow an average of $500 billion every year over the next decade.